A Mississippi company just finished a large project that could mean dozens of new jobs. Raytheon spent $50 million to expand its facility in Forest. The new facility is on Highway 80 East. 3 on Your Side's Kennedy Drake tells us what that means for the community and the U.S. military.
Right through these doors behind me, a new facility was created to support the U.S. Navy and Australian Royal Air Force. Raytheon just finished a large expansion at its site in Forest. The company spent $50 million to add 17,000 square feet of space. Leaders say the new space will help build important radar and electronic warfare systems.
As the future of warfare changes and evolves, Raytheon and the men and women of this facility, they will continue to lead as our military prepares to fight the battles of tomorrow. To meet our future threats, we must maintain our technological advantage.
Leaders say they appreciate the new opportunities the system brings.
Thank you for honoring the men and women that carry the Next Generation Jammer midband into the fight, as well as those who are supported and kept safe through the employment of this most critical weapon system. Thank you for making this invaluable contribution to our great nation's ability to wage war.
The Forest site now covers 445,000 square feet. State leaders say that makes it one of the largest defense sites in the state. Over the last 10 years, Raytheon has spent $280 million on the 3 expansions here. Community leaders say this new expansion will bring 100 jobs and offer new opportunities to citizens in Forest, Mississippi. Kennedy Drake, 3 on Your Side.